Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a really fun video talking about being colorblind. So I wanted to give 5 realities to being colorblind because they're very quirky and specific ways being colorblind affects your life and various ways that you have to adjust when you are colorblind to make sure no fiascos happen, and I can give examples. I know I've talked about being colorblind on my channel before. I'm actually colorblind because of having Turner syndrome. It's what takes it from me being just a carrier to actually expressing that because it's a recessive gene. I get it from my dad. He is red and green colorblind. I am just red colorblind. So the color scheme I have the hardest time with is blue and purple. Seeing the difference between blue and purple can be the hardest thing for me because I can't usually see enough of the red in a purple to be able to see it as purple. It takes a lot of red for me to pick up the red. My story of finding out I was colorblind is actually pretty cool too. It was here at camp. My mom had come with my aunt as the craft director for camp that year, and she brought me along. I was 4 years old, I think, and I was helping her sort pony beads for the beady babies we were gonna make. And I kept putting the blue beads in with the purple beads and the purple beads in with the blue beads. And after many times of fixing that, she stopped me. She pulled a blue one and a purple one out. She put them next to each other and she said, "Do these look the same to you?" And I said, "Yes, they do." And she said, "Oh, really?" And knowing my dad was colorblind and having experienced all of that since they were very young, she kind of figured I was colorblind. And we did colorblind tests on the computer when we got home from camp. I scored better than my dad, but I still failed. And I am very colorblind. So that was how we found out. Being red colorblind means I see a different shade of red. It does not pop as much for me as it would normally. And I have an even harder time seeing it when it's mixed with other colors. I pick up the other color instead, and unless there's a lot of red in it, I'm not gonna see any red. It's not going to look purple, it's going to look blue. And I see a lot of blue. There have been some interesting times that I have become aware of just how colorblind I am and just how much trouble I actually have with it, how different what I'm seeing really is. I think the biggest example that showed not only me this, but other people around me was a phone case I had. I had a checkered phone case that had a ton of different colors on it, and my Nana, my dad's mom, had found an app that you could take a picture of something and turn on a filter for it to show you what that would look like to a colorblind person. You can make it specifically red-green, specifically red, specifically green, and it would filter that to what that person would see. So I did that, and I put the 2 pictures next to each other, and I showed my mom, my brother, Andrew, and all of them go, "Oh my gosh, you're missing about 50 colors there." And that was a big kind of aha moment of how much it really does take away from me, even just being red. I could not imagine what my dad is losing by being red-green colorblind. It's just insane to think about. And there are a lot of different ways that it changes things for me. In order to make sure there are no weird colors happening in anything, I either have to go with colors I know I can see, or I have to ask and make sure that it doesn't look funny together, because it might not look weird to me, but everybody else is going, "Oh my gosh, those don't go together. What is she doing?" My mom has a lot of funny stories of having to stop my dad from walking out of the house in very funny colors. But she's even had to do that for me, mixing blues and pinks and probably blues and purples, thinking they were both blue. And so the major first reality of being colorblind is needing a color scheme in your wardrobe that you can actually use. Making sure it's either colors that you know that you can see, or not having as many clothes that you can't see the colors out very well that you would have to ask somebody how it looks. Or just getting in the habit of constantly checking if you're not sure, just to make sure you don't go out looking funny. The second reality comes while driving. When I was 16, I started paying attention to my mom driving a lot more, just to kind of get an idea of what it was gonna take. And I was super excited to get my license. I really wanted to get my permit and start. And then some interesting revelations came out of watching her drive. My dad has gotten a red light ticket before from thinking it was yellow. I, while she was driving, noticed that I could not tell the difference between a flashing red and a flashing yellow. And those mean different things. A flashing red, you stop and act like it's a stop sign first. A flashing yellow, you can go through, but be cautious. As soon as I realized that I had trouble telling the difference between the two, immediately freaked out and asked my mom, what am I gonna do? What do I do if I don't see that? And she said, one, you can watch what the cars in front of you are doing and do what they do. She said, two, if there's nobody else around and you really can't tell and you're really just scared to go through, stop anyways. And if a cop pulls you over, tell them, I'm colorblind, I couldn't tell, and I wanted to be safe, so I stopped anyways. They're not gonna give you a ticket for that. They're going to understand you were trying to be safe. It was an interesting thing though, and I have noticed since I've been driving almost 10 years now that I still have trouble with that, but that's another reality. Being careful and being aware of your surroundings at lights when you're driving. The third reality of being colorblind is learning how to deal with people's responses. I've gotten some really funny responses before. From telling people I was colorblind, I've gotten a lot of, no you're not, and really? So you see in black and white? No you're not. So what's that color? So what colors can't you see? So does Andrew's hair look blue? There's a lot of funny responses I've gotten. That last one has only been within the last 5 years. Most interesting ones come from when they start testing me on the colors of the clothes I'm actually wearing. Like, I wouldn't have made sure of what colors I was wearing before I walked out of the house. My favorite is the, do you see in black and white? And I like to say yes. My life is a 50s sitcom. It's awesome. The reality is most people don't have a grasp on what it's like being colorblind. They don't understand the ways in which you have to kind of compensate for it, or how it changes your ability to do certain things, what that means you regularly do, like asking somebody what a color is if you really don't trust yourself. Things like that become second nature. The fourth reality is taking the joke. I know a lot of people around me like to make jokes about it. They like to give me a hard time about it. And I've gotten used to it, just like I've gotten used to short jokes. It kind of just comes with the territory, especially the more you struggle in front of people, the more they experience just how much of a struggle it is for you. The fifth and final reality of being colorblind is learning to stop trying to guess what a color is. I, very quickly as I got older, stopped trying to say what color something was before hearing somebody else say it. I would wait till it was mentioned in some way because I didn't want to sound stupid if I said a totally off the wall color and it was not that color. Or I would just not mention the color at all. That became something I had to do. It also means asking for more information when they say, can you get me the thing that's this color? And I'm going, really? Really? I stopped being as bold with trying to guess the color. So that is it. That is my 5 realities of being colorblind. If you are colorblind, if you know somebody that's colorblind, leave some stories below. I know I have some funny ones, and I would love to hear some other. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. If you are not already subscribed, click the screen and subscribe, and then you can see when the next video comes out. and I will see you guys in that one. Bye!